everybody, it's Risa from Hudson Valley Vintage. Thank you for joining us today. I am continuing to work on this really cool dresser that we put a transfer on. You might remember Kevin did it, I guess about a week and a half ago or so. And it's this beautiful redesign with Prima Transfer called Blue Wave. Really beautiful. Kevin did a video showing you guys how to do the transfer all over the dresser, which you can see now. I didn't really paint the dresser yet. I just basically painted the front of the drawers so that we could do the transfer. And what I did, which I recommend, is I picked a color that was in the background of the transfer already to use as my background color. And that's Lamp White from Fusion Mineral Paint. There it is right there. Now what I'm doing today is I am blending it in a little bit because I feel like the edges on this, if you can see over here, are a little bit severe. And I want it to look like a painting. I want it to look as though this was hand painted onto the dresser. So I already started a little bit here, maybe you can see. So I have these really smooth synthetic brushes. They're very cheap. I think they're from the art store, maybe like Michael's or something. They're synthetic and they're very, very fine. I've taken the Lamp White that I used on the background and I've watered it down just the teeniest bit. And I've taken some other colors that I think are similar to what's in the transfer. I have some Cathedral Taupe, I have some Little Lamb, and what I'm doing is just taking the Lamp White to start and kind of blending it in to cover the edge of the transfer. I have a bottle of water handy and I'm using the water to dilute the paint a little bit and help to blend it in because I want it to look natural. And I'm going to do the same thing on the top. Now I've done it here as well and I used a little bit more of the Cathedral Taupe and I'm even going to dry brush a little bit of the Lamp White. I want it to look like this is a continuation of the painting, not like it's so severe on the edges. Let me take a little more paint and I'm just continuing along on the top and I'm kind of going right over the top of the transfer and blending it in. Need a little more paint. Need a little more water and you can just spray your brush directly, just a little bit. You don't want it like drenched. And I'm just softening, I don't know if you can see it, I'm just softening the line between the top of the transfer and the dresser. So let me show you the difference between what I've done so far and what I haven't done. If you look over here, you can see how severe the line is, how straight it is. And then if you go further this way, you can see that I'm blending it. So that's really what I'm trying to do. I don't want it to be so obvious that this is a transfer. So now I'm gonna use a little bit of the little Whale, which is a really soft blue. And I'm kind of adding that in here at the top, using almost a dry brush when I add this color. And if I feel like I have too much, like maybe right here, I can take a little bit of water on my brush and just brush it out a little bit. What I'm trying to do is blend the colors at each part of the transfer. So right here, you know, I'm sticking with whites and blues like the sky. Here there's a lot of like a cream taupe color, so that's what I put over here. And down here I'm going to get a little bit more into the blues. but I want to start with the white because that's my background color, and kind of just work in with that. I don't have much on my brush, and that's intentional because I want to just gradually do this. And by the way, if I feel like I overdo it, at any point I have a rag here, and I could take my rag and wet it and just wipe back some of that paint as long as I do it quickly. So now I'm going to take a little bit more of the little whale, and I'm trying to really wipe it off my brush and just blend that in a little bit. Now I also have a bit of a deeper blue. I brought Seaside. I'm a little unsure if that's going to be too much. I'm not sure. I just don't know. Let's see. Like I always say, we could always paint over it, right? Nobody will know. So I'll put a little of this on my plate. I'm going to wet my brush a little bit again. Might be a little too much. I'm not crazy about it. I think it's a little too much, so let's get rid of this here and wipe it off. And I'm gonna just spray I have a spray bottle here with water, and I'm just gonna wipe this back a little bit. There we go. So no harm done. As long as I do it quickly. I'm working with a water-based paint. I'm working with Fusion mineral paint. So it's super easy to just fix that. So I'll go over that again with a little bit of the lamp white. Which is why I'm using minimal paint. Ooh, I like that. That wasn't much, and I like it. So now I'm going to continue on top, and like I said, I'm using the same color that I painted the front of the dressers with. I'm going to keep going here. Oh, I got a bristle. Like I said, I'm using very cheap brushes. That's not always a good thing. So I'm adding a little bit of Little Whale, which is Fusion lightest blue. It's almost like a blue-white. It's such a pale color. So let's see. There we go. Kevin always puts things on wheels for me. It makes it so much easier. He is the best. Okay, so now I'm going to start over here, and I'm just very lightly blending my lamp white in. And then if you get to a point that you feel like the colors are not blending enough, I'll just spray a little bit on my brush. As far as parts paint to water, it's not really an exact number. I like to, when I'm blending, I like to use a spray bottle rather than mixing my paint like in a plate or a cup or something. That's kind of how I do it. So let's see. I definitely need more white on that side. It's good to step back from your work a little bit and you know, kind of see what it needs and that sort of thing. And I feel on that side it's a little too blue. And like anything else with furniture painting, blending is one of those things that just takes a little bit of practice. You kind of have to just make some mistakes and become a little more comfortable with it as you go. I am far from a champion at this. As I said, I wasn't even sure how I was going to achieve this look. I just knew that I wanted to, and you know, I'm kind of playing with it, which is fun. Now, what I always tell people in my classes, or if I'm giving a consultation, when it comes to furniture paint, you can always paint over it again. So I've blended this. I really like this. I'm liking all of this. I need to do another coat here and down on that side, and then I'll do the bottom. But I feel like it's really coming along. So like this white that I just put in here, it's a little more than I want. So, you know, I'm just gonna take my brush, put a couple of spritzes of water, and just kind of spread it out a little bit more. I just want it to look sort of ethereal. I don't want it to look heavy in any way. That's better. So you can kind of see over here, like I have to do another coat. Can you see that you can see the line of the edge of the transfer? Whereas over here, where I've already done 2 coats, on this side, it's covered much better. So that's where I want to get to on the other side. Not in a matchy-matchy way, because, you know, I want this to look like a painting. I don't want it to look too intentional. So now I'm focusing on this side. I want to make it a little softer. So I'm going to start with my background color, which is the lamp white. And I'm just going to start on the edge and brush it in. And I'm doing it really lightly. I don't have a lot of paint on here. I'm going to add a little bit more of that blue, like I did before and didn't like, but I think it worked out well over there. But watch how I keep just playing with it, just really lightly, and I'm just blending it more and more back and forth. Very wispy. You're using a very soft touch. Now I can take a little bit of my water again and go over that again. And now I like it. It's funny how that works out. Isn't it funny? Probably the biggest problem with blending is like, when do you stop? Because it's like, first of all, it's fun. And second of all, like, when do you say, you know what? I think I've got it. So I'm just gonna keep going on this because I'm enjoying myself. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of a wire brush for the bottom. This is the same kind of brush, it's just a little wider. And I'm going to dampen it and add a little bit of paint. I'm kind of wiping most of it off. And that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Get outside. If you're in the Northeast, go outside. It's fabulous out. No sleeves. No sleeves. So guys, thank you for watching. Take care, everybody. Thank you.